Hey everyone, Chris here, and welcome to my channel. In today's 5 on Friday, I'm here to share with you 5 sci-fi books on my TBR. So with Galaxyathon running for 2 weeks in March, I ended up pawing through my sci-fi to-be-read shelf and came across several sci-fis that didn't quite fulfill the prompts for this round of Galaxyathon. Nevertheless, I still really am interested in them and was reminded that these were books I was looking at. So I thought I would share with you today 5 sci-fi books on my TBR that I am still quite interested in. First is Fly Me to the Moon by Diane Valerie. And this is the first book in the Sylvia Stryker Space Case series. And it says, Sylvia Stryker wants to explore the galaxy. A family scandal kept her from leaving home. Can a white lie help her change her future? Sylvia Stryker used to help run her parents' dry ice farm until her dad's arrest nearly left them bankrupt. But after finding a job on board an outer space cruise ship, she's ready to explore all that outer space has to offer. With a private room in the staff quarters, her robot cat by her side, and the responsibilities of uniform management, Sylvia is thrilled to return to work until she discovers the second navigation officer dead in the inventory closet. Neptune, the head of the ship's security, finds Sylvia's presence to be the most suspicious part of the incident. That's what happens when you hack your way into a last-minute job opportunity. But despite his efforts to pin the murder on Sylvia, she won't accept how the clues are unfolding. And if Sylvia doesn't expose the murderer on the cruise, then she'll never learn the truth about her family. Fly Me to the Moon is the quirky first cozy mystery featuring uniformed Lieutenant Sylvia Stryker. If you like unique characters, delightful plots, and cool space fashion, you'll love Diane Valerie's entertaining Space Case Cozy series. So I was really intrigued by combining a sci-fi with like a cozy mystery setting. And of course, there's a robot cat, which definitely piqued my interest. So while it wasn't really working for the prompts, it was still one that caught my eye. The second book is Leonard, My Life as a Cat by Carly Soroziak. And obviously, it's got a cat. It's a sci-fi with a cat. So I'm sure you're shocked that this one caught my eye. It says he's not a stray house cat, he's an immortal being, and now he must choose whether to return to his planet or remain with his new human friend in a humorous, heart-tugging story from the author of I, Cosmo. So we're going to be following a cat who is actually an alien who is going to be posing as a cat to learn, I'm assuming, about humans and is going to develop a bond with this human and have to figure out what he wants to do. It seemed very intriguing. Kind of gives me animal POV since I'm assuming we will be seeing lots of things from Leonard's point of view as a cat, but also having that sci-fi twist of he's actually an alien. So very curious about this one and wondering what he ends up choosing and what the consequences of each of the choices he has are. So we'll see if I can get to this one sometime soon. Then we have Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm. This is one I've heard a lot of really good things about. It says, after a catastrophic unknown event leaves the colony ship Orion stranded deep in space, it's up to 13-year-old Beth and her friends to navigate through treacherous and uncharted territory and reach safety. But a heavily damaged ship, a mysterious alien species, space pirates, and an artificial intelligence, which Beth suspects may be lying to her, mean that getting home has never been so difficult. Hugely gripping, with incredible twists and a fast-paced, action-packed story, this is an unputdownable science fiction adventure, perfect for fans of Mortal Engines and Star Wars. So I'm not really a Star Wars fan, so that doesn't really do much for me, and I've never heard of Mortal Engines, but I have heard really good things about this, and it sounds like it could be fun, and that there is a lot that's going to be going on in this one, and I'm curious to see how Beth navigates all of that. So this book definitely sounds interesting, and with the good reviews I've heard, makes me want to get to it. Then we have Glitch by Laura Martin. This follows Reagan and Elliot, who have been enemies since they started training to become glitchers, people who travel through time to preserve important historical events. But everything changes when they find a letter from Reagan's future self, warning them about an impending disaster that threatens them and everyone they know. Will they be able to set aside their past in order to save the future? I love some good time travel events. It gives me, I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it. It was like a spinoff from the Arrow series that aired on like the CW. And you had a group of people who went through time trying to protect history. and I really liked the premise of that show. And so I've always been really, really into like time travel and stuff like that. So this is definitely sounding like it's right up my alley, and one that I'm really glad this readathon has kind of brought back to the forefront of my mind. So we'll see if I can get to it. And then the last sci-fi book on my TBR that I'm going to mention is Trouble in the Stars by Sarah Prenius. It says Trouble knows two things. They are a shapeshifter and they are running from something, but they don't know what. So when the government, the Star League, shows up, Trouble figures it's time to flee. Changing from blob of goo form to adorable puppy form to human boy form, Trouble stows away on the Hindsight, a ship crewed by the best navigators and engineers in the galaxy, led by the fearsome Captain Astra. When Trouble is discovered, the captain decides to be nice. Instead of tossing them out an airlock, she'll drop Trouble off at the next space station. As the ship travels, Trouble uses the time to figure out how to be a good human boy and starts to feel safe. But when a young Star League cadet shows up to capture Trouble, things get complicated, especially when Trouble reveals a shapeshifter form that none of them could have expected. Soon, a chase across the galaxy begins. Safety, freedom, and home are at stake, and not just for Trouble. From acclaimed author Sarah Preniss comes a rip-roaring outer space adventure about an oddball hero, a crew of misfits, and finding family where you least expect it. I love a good found family book, and this sounds like it's going to have a lot of those aspects. I'm very, very curious about Trouble and what they have found themselves in and why they are being chased by the Star League. This seems like it would be a very interesting, like, adventure, mystery, sci-fi, and I think it will be a lot of fun to read. So there you have it. Those are 5 sci-fi books that are on my TBR. I really hope I managed to get to these. I tend to forget about sci-fi as a genre when I'm looking for books, unless I'm specifically given the sci-fi prompt from that board over there. So I'm hoping that these stay in the forefront of my mind, hence also wanting to make this video because it helps me share with you all some sci-fi books, and will hopefully, like I said, keep these books in my thoughts for when I'm building TBRs and maybe allow me to branch out a little, because I do really enjoy sci-fi. I just don't gravitate towards picking it up instinctually. So we'll see if I can get to any of these in 2025. What is a sci-fi book that is on your TBR that you're hoping to get to this year? Let me know in the comment section below. All of my social media is linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me spaceship emojis. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!